There are two ways to make a lot of money in America. You can work, labor income, or you can own assets.
That's economist Kyla Scanlon. I even own her book, In This Economy. And late last week, she published her essay, How to Get Rich in America. Her core argument is that Americans are pattern matching to an economy where incentives have changed. Work feels disconnected from the payoff, while ownership in stocks, housing, businesses, capital gains, that is what increasingly produces the meaningful wealth. So people change their behavior to fit the system they actually inhabit, which is why we get betting culture. Prediction markets that get labeled as a type of investing, but are just gambling because people are looking for a windfall because they don't have any capital.
So increasingly, labor income, wages, it's not enough, but what is enough is non-wage income. The median American makes about $37,000 a year from wages. At the top 1%, what becomes really important is non-wage income, and the most important slice of that is capital gains.
So real estate is a lot of fun, but it's also hard. I don't mean hard in the sense that the work is difficult. What I mean is that you continually have to market yourself to find new clients. You have to find people already wanting to purchase or sell a house, and to continually get your name out there is a lot. It's probably more than a full-time job. That sounds scary. I make, full disclosure, between $50,000 and $60,000 a year. So I'm not rich. This is not get rich money. This is more, middle class cash. But I'm also hearing where people are like, 50 grand is just not enough to live on. Average rent in the Seacoast area is close to 2 grand for a one bedroom. Roughly, you get up to 2 bedrooms, it's more in the 2 to 3 bedroom, it's more in the $2,300 to $2,500 range. And I don't know, what's 2 times 12? That is $24,000. And so if you're making $50,000 for your income, that's 50% of your income is just going to keeping a roof above your head. Not to mention, if you have any other issues like childcare or medical bills or paying back tuition, college loans, any of that is going to really mess with that 50 grand. Like, that should be a good income, and it's just not enough. It's not enough. Which is one of the reasons why I've been doing DoorDash, because honestly, that's been our grocery bill. $300 every 2 weeks, that's our grocery bill. I don't like doing it. I saw a family in Hannaford's the other day that had a whole grocery cart full of groceries, and the dude, he was paying with the Crimson card, and if you're a DoorDasher, you know what that is. That is their way of paying you and also holding on to your money as long as they can. And they were having a really hard time just getting the card to work. And they were stuck transferring cash from one account to the other. And if you know anything about DoorDash, it takes close to 7 days to transfer money out of the Crimson card into your regular bank account. That's not disparaging. That's not disparaging DoorDash, but, and I'm not saying $300 is not money, but for us, for a family of 3, that's all that is groceries.
But it's still a good time to buy.
Still a good time to buy because it's a great state. You might as well buy here, right?
Well, I'm safe in my investment, right?
100%.
If I'm buying right now,
Yeah.
I mean, is it going to go down next year?
No, it's not going to go down.
So that's my broker, Nate Dickey, interviewing a fellow Keller Williams coastal and lakes and mountains realtor. And basically, the argument here is that you should buy a house now rather than later because one, your investment is safe. Two, your investment is only going to grow in wealth. And that's Scanlon's line about money makes more money.
Money made from money making money. The reliable way to get rich in America is through owning assets.
And three, if you don't buy the asset now, it'll only become more expensive further down the road. But there's a hard gate here because from the date of putting together this recording, which was August 18th, the median priced home in New Hampshire was $640,000. The median New Hampshire family only earns about 77% of what they'd actually need to qualify for a mortgage to purchase that home. Put another way, that's roughly a $36,358 annual income gap. And these numbers are a result of looking at the state as one big single pot. You start dividing by geographical locations, and you get totally different stories.
So if history repeats itself, the Realtors Association says that we may even see these prices continue to climb.
Data shows New Hampshire's housing market's at an all-time record with more than $1 billion in residential real estate sales just last month.
Whether you're looking to buy or rent, prices are continuously going up.
Just when buyers thought New Hampshire's housing market couldn't get worse, it did.
I think that if you talk to anyone, you will hear them say they think it's wild.
That's how Joni McIntyre with the New Hampshire Association of Realtors describes the current housing market.
If you want to buy a house, participate in the stock market, actually own something so that you can make more money, or get more money, or move past living paycheck to paycheck, your only real option is to make more money.
A lot of people are looking for passive income from side hustles.
Yeah, it's the financial Ozempic, and it's more accessible than ever. Like 90% of the ideas I talk about can be launched with $500 or less.
That's Chris Kerner, interviewed by Stephen Bartlett on Diary of a CEO. Chris launched over 80 businesses, many of which he abandoned, many of which became pretty successful. And here's Chris talking about buying items from Buc-ee's gas station to resell on his own website.
And did that website make you a lot of money?
Yeah, it still is. It's been 5 years. We still own it, 100% of it, and it's going great.
And it's made you millions?
Uh-huh.
What can someone listening take from that in terms of applying that to their own life, finding opportunities like that out in the world? Or is that just a one and done? Is there only one opportunity like that?
Like, people should take their curious ideas very seriously. They need to shorten the amount of time spent between having the idea and doing something about that idea.
Why?
Because that will strengthen their bias for action muscle, right? We all have ideas, some of them good, some of them bad, on a regular basis. We usually don't do anything about it. It's just a passing thought, right? Whether it's a business idea or a hard conversation I need to have with something, any idea, right? But the more we shrink the amount of time between doing something about that idea and having that idea, the more often we'll do that. And it becomes this self-perpetuating snowball that just compounds. And then before we know it, we'll get more ideas. We'll do more about those ideas. We'll be testing things. We'll be learning tools. We'll be experimenting, and we'll have a whole portfolio of businesses.
This up there is one of my ideas. It's called Mariner. You might be familiar with Zotero, which is a research citation collection kind of thing. This is a prototype of Mariner. It does kind of a similar thing. One of the really cool things about it, though, is when it's finished, I'm going to just give it away for free. Zotero is a free product as well, or a freemium. Some institutions will pay for it. And then it integrates with their libraries and that kind of thing. This is for researchers. It was a Zotero I felt was good, but it was kind of hard to navigate. Sometimes I would put books on the app and want to purchase a copy or borrow a copy. So one of the really cool things that I've done with this is you see this access routes down here. You click on Find in WorldCat, it pops up a little tiny window that basically shows you where to borrow the book at. And I can borrow this book at somewhere near me. The closest place is the Durham Library. So you can search through all of this. You can actually, like, you can search by location, right? It's all there, right there at your fingertips. That's one thing that I felt like Zotero was not answering. So this was a cool thing. But then I thought, I don't always want to just borrow a book from the library. Sometimes, I mean, you can see in the background, this shoulder, all the books on the table, right? That's just the books on the table. That doesn't show you, well, there's books behind me with a little dinosaur underneath the poster. There's books behind the camera. There's a lot, like, I like to buy books. I don't like selling books. I've tried that on Coffee with Steve. Nobody clicks the links. I'm not trying to sell books. But this research app, which is my idea, which I'm going to give away for free, does a very, very interesting thing. And down here, when it says bookshop.org, I have strong feelings about Amazon. Plus, their affiliate site is not the greatest for somebody that doesn't have consistent and constant business funneled to Amazon. But bookshop.org lets you do affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is kind of coffee money, right? It's not that big of a deal. It used to be a big deal, and now it's harder to actually make a living off of it. So what I've done, though, is I've inserted myself into the transaction for the researcher, and it pops up another window right with my affiliate link, embed it, right? And so then every time somebody is using the Mariner app and they decide that they need one of those books, I'm not selling the book. I haven't even found the book. They found the bibliography information. They entered it into the system, and now they want to purchase it. And Bookshop.org supports independent bookstores, unlike Amazon.com does. And I get kickback for sending them a customer. How many people are going to use this app? I have no idea. So, but it does not really cost me too much to put this out in the world. We're going to see it out in the world in a couple months. Very, very excited about it. And is it going to make me money? I have no idea. Is it an idea? It is a very good idea. We'll see what happens.
I love directory websites.
What's that?
So Travelocity is a directory website. Yelp is a directory website. It's a website with a list of things that helps people find answers to their questions more easily. So another example of a website could be like Wisconsin icesuppliers.com. I don't know if that's a website, right? Where if I need to go buy ice for my party, I'm going to Google ice near me. Some categories are so niche or so unevenly distributed that Google Maps is not a good solution for it, right? So you're directed to these random directory websites that are just lists of other businesses. And what people are doing is they're proactively creating their own directories by scraping, let's say, every dog park in Seattle, Washington, and putting them on a website. And then they don't even drive traffic to it. There's no paid ads. They just wait for Google and for SEO to do its trick. And it's very much an 80-20 rule. You could kind of build the architecture for a directory website with Replit or Lovable, and then you just copy and paste it, right, in different markets. So the play here is to have dozens of directory websites, and some of them make $0 a month, some make a few hundred, some make a few thousand, but it's very passive. It's like one of those rare things that's passive, yet also doesn't need a ton of money to get started.
Where's the money coming from? Where's the revenue?
Great question. You can either do like display ads.
What's a display ad?
Just a banner ad on a website.
And are you having to go and sell that ad to someone that wants to buy it?
You would just take Google's like ad network and just put it on your website, so you don't have to do anything.
So you can just click a button and it'll add adverts to your website, which you're then paid for.
Yep. Or you could just aggregate those leads. Like if we had dog parks in Seattle and, we see on our Google Analytics that we're driving traffic to this one dog park, then we reach out to them proactively and say, hey, you notice all these customers you've been getting? That's because I put you on my website. Would you like to pay $300 a year or a month or whatever for priority placement? Right. So I like to call this permissionless marketing. You're just proactively adding these businesses to a website. They have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose. And then once you see traffic, then you reach out to them and say, hey, I've been bringing you more business. Would you like to start paying for that?
Hey, so I am door dashing this weekend. And next week, and I'm door dashing really, really damn hard. I don't like DoorDash, but it's good for some coffee money, right? Like that's the reason why I'm doing this. It cost me $17 the other day for coffee for the house. And I was like, oh my God, $17 for coffee. Whoa. So this doesn't hurt my budget, anything like that. It doesn't sink into the rest of my daily living. But the really cool thing I want to talk about is that we're going to DoorDash really, really damn hard this weekend and this week to buy a web page. And this website is going to, it's going to do something that hopefully will collect me some cash, but not cost anybody anything, which is fascinating to think about. It's an idea, and it's going to take coffee money to start. An asset is something you own or control that has economic value. That means it can make you money, it can increase in value, or it can be something that you eventually sell. A house, for example, is an asset. A business is an asset. Stocks and mutual funds are assets. An idea can be an asset. In the business world, when you're talking about an idea, people will use the term, there goes my cat. People use the term intellectual property or IP. So a novel can be IP, a piece of software can be an IP, a database, a design, a course, an online course, an in-person course, a brand, a proprietary process, almost any idea. Okay, sometimes you can have some really dumb ideas that are not going to be IPs, but ideas can become assets. And unlike a house or $100,000 worth of stocks, the starting capital required to create an intellectual property can be ridiculously small. Basically, brain power. Maybe a few $100, maybe a couple thousand, depending on what the idea is. And okay, I'm going to tell you, ideas are so powerful that we have laws to protect them, which is pretty crazy to think about. And just a side note, for a minute, for those of you who are into AI, Anthropic just recently announced that they're going to put a watermark on all of their outputs for their Claude chatbot, right? So anything that you build with Claude will be watermarked, and the people that run Claude, Anthropic, will be able to tell whether it came out of their process, out of their machine, out of their robot, because they'll be able to see that watermark that it's going to be invisible to you. So Claude Anthropic has basically said that, look, we're not interested in changing ownership. What you produce with Claude, what you build with Claude is yours. But terms and services change all the time. And I don't know, but businesses are always trying to put themselves in the middle of transactions where money's already flowing. And I don't know if, there goes my cat again. I don't know if Anthropic is actually going to do that, right? But pundits in the AI world are already worried about it. And businesses are constantly looking for ways to insert themselves into revenue streams that are already happening. And Anthropic is a business. My idea for the real estate website concept is, well, superficially, it looks like Chris Krenner's directory idea. It's an asset that I'm trying to create. It's not costing me anything to have the idea except brain power, and I don't see any reason to voluntarily introduce another company into the ownership question if I don't have to. So it's not going to get built in Claude. It's not going to get built in ChatGPT or anything like that. So I'm going to stay on my end of things. And in fact, the website doesn't really create a new transaction. It sits in a place where money is already moving, and the relationships already exist. The channels already exist. The way the money gets distributed already exists. What I've noticed is that there's a place or a piece of the system that, as far as I can tell, nobody in the real estate industry is really leveraged. And this is fundamentally different from a dog park directory where basically we're going to sell ads to businesses that we're already sending traffic to. Hey, we did a good job for you. Would you like us to do more of a good job for it? Like, why would they buy that? Listen, this chart that's above my head, what it shows is what the richest 1% of Americans own. You're seeing close to 30 trillion in stocks and mutual funds. You're seeing about 8 trillion or so in private businesses. And we're also seeing about 6.5 trillion in real estate. So what I find really interesting about that is the common theme or the common wisdom that I've heard since I've been in the real estate business is the fastest way to wealth is through purchasing a house. And in separate research, a 2026 working paper, The Entrepreneurs Rethinking Serial Entrepreneurship, which is the title, or Rethinking Top Wealth Dynamics, found that the average rich person owns about 7 businesses, which is crazy. The data suggests the quickest way to buy a house is through stocks or through the stock market, and the second quickest way is through starting a business or several businesses. Okay, I've been sitting here for about 15 minutes waiting for a DoorDash delivery, and I've gotten nothing. I'm going to miss the supper hour as well because I have to pick up my kid from her job, and that just cuts into the supper hour when I have to pick her up. So no cash for today, and that's fine. There's no guarantee with DoorDash, and that's fine. You just keep moving forward.